You know, this ship is kind of in the way. As much as I like it, just for the sake that it's a generated dungeon, I think it's gotta go. And this should be the last of it. Looks clear, right? Yeah. So let's head over here. Oh, that looks so much better. Although now it feels a little empty. I'm thinking maybe something like this. Yeah, it's not the prettiest, but hey. Can we see it from my house though? Just out of sight, but as soon as you walk over here, you can see it, so I'll take it. I've always wanted to make a windmill and create, but I just never came around to it. Now I can say I finally made one, although not like the prettiest of all of them. Hey, I'm trying here, okay? Last episode, we enchanted all of our gear with Apotheosis, so we're much more stronger. And I want to see if I can take on the bosses and dungeons and whatever that's behind this portal to sort of test out if I'm ready or not. I'm going to spawn a warden real quick. Warden should be spawning. Ah, here it is. So we're going to use the dagger here because I want drops. So let's see here. 250 hearts, spam clicking. Oh yeah, we're totally ready. Okay, let's go. I'm super excited to see what this place is gonna be like. I'm gonna assume it's scary, first of all. Below the bedrock. Interesting. There's ores to be mined here. I see some enemies over on this side. Maybe we can dig towards them. Oh, I found an opening. What's this? Whoa, what the heck? Oh my, what are you? Are you friend? Foe? Not hostile. Huh. There are, what are these, shriekers and whatever? I had to take a look at the wiki just to see if there was anything other than just this new biome or this new area. Apparently there's a temple to look for. I've been flying around for possibly 30 minutes now, and I don't really see where I should be or where I should go. And these temples seem to be only found in one biome, and I feel like I'm stuck in an enclosed situation. I don't want to give up, but at the same time, I could totally just make this a lot easier. I think it's time to commit some of the automatium that I collected into something. So how much do I have? I have plenty. So we're gonna make a structure compass. We have to make 4 netherite ingots. So this is a big investment, I would say. Going back now, searching for deeper, darker, ancient temple. Structure selected, right-clicked the compass to locate it. There we go. 482 blocks. The compass is pointing towards the structure. All right, let's head towards this direction then. Oh, did I summon a warden? Whoa, what did I get myself into? What is this? This has to be the temple. Abyssal Descent. There looks like there's loot, and I'm sure there's gonna be plenty of traps. Screw it, let's do it! Ancient vase, what are we gonna get from these? Kinda not that impressed. How about this one? Also not very impressed. Oh, hello! Doesn't seem like there's anything. Oh my god, what the? He just snuck up behind me. That's the main floor. It looks like there's stuff under though. I'm guessing hidden map from under the... Ah, yes. Let's see if there's any better loot around here. A skulk transmitter. Whoa, what is this? Remote storage. Let's see if the loot here is any better. Doesn't seem like it. There's like a ton of diamond here, so I'm led to believe that I should have been here maybe a little bit earlier. Oh, there's another portal here. I suppose that you can make another... Wow, there's another portal we can go through? Alright. I'm curious. Let's Wait a minute. This is just a portal back to the other side. Wait a second. We are here once again in my creative world where I test everything that I am interested and curious about with this mod pack. I am curious what nets me more ore. A Fortune 9 pickaxe? Or Mechanism's 5 times ore? With how Fortune works and the math behind it, technically Mechanism should win, but I want to see. So I laid out 7 rows of 10 Automatium ore, and I just want to see how much I get per row here. And the goal is to get more than 5 per ore. So we're going to start with this one. The first one, what do we get? 5. We get 2. That was 7. So let's go here. So this is a row of 10. And what do we end up with? 46. That's not the best if we're looking for over 5 times. Let's try the next row. 49. 56. Ooh, we went above average this time. Oh, shoot. 38 that time. 45. 65. Okay. 44. After a quick calculation, that averages to about 4.4 Automatium per ore. So, unfortunately, I do think Mechanism is better if I want something a bit more consistent than Fortune 9. That means if we mine Vibranium and Unobtainium, we're going to want Silk Touch. We're going to make 1 Automatium pickaxe, and it's just going to be strictly for mining those ores. We're going to process everything with Mechanism then in that case. So there's the plate, and then we craft it like so. So there is our very first Automatium pickaxe. We'll see what we get here. An oak drawer. Hip hip hooray. Oh, 4 of them. Well, anyways. So we're just going to do efficiency 9, silk touch, and soulbound on this. This episode, I am determined to finish my silent gear so we can move on and do stuff for crafting the Automod Star finally. So we got 3 things left to do here. The first of which is elemental craft, and I spent a bunch of time carving out a place to do stuff from that mod, and I set up a little system over here. I gotta be honest, I think I'm getting the hang of building stuff. It's not extremely detailed or anything, but I'm happy I'm just getting back into the whole building thing. Can I just say though, I think I've said this before, but I dislike magic mods that are secretly disguised as tech mods. And in my opinion, I think Elemental Craft is one of them. I've done this grind before, so I'm going to do my best to try and speed through this. We are trying to make an item called Fireite, and this will help us with our silent gear related stuff. This is actually one of the best items that you can have for upgrading your silent gear. And to make it, we need to do a thing called element binding, which means we also need to make these things called pure crystals. And so there's a bit of a multi-step process, but I have set up most of the machinery and setup already here. I just didn't hook up everything yet because I wanted to do it in person. Or in recording, sorry. We need to link up some ender drawers. So let's grab the necessary amount, which is 4. And we are heading down to the mob farm. And the whole idea of Elemental Craft is that there's like these 4 elements that you can learn to extract and such like that. But we're bypassing all of that. Just because all the mobs actually drop those elements and we can extract those. I'm just going to put the ender drawers here, and it's just going to be a mishmash of ender drawers at the back. I don't feel like organizing today, sorry. So let's just get rid of these. We gotta unhook this, and we'll take one of each of these elements to hook up the ender drawers here. We'll make this parallel to the 2x2 drawers, so I think the order goes fire, water, earth here, and then air here. Then we'll just lock these up so they only accept those. Then we'll link them up with the linking tools here. Set this to extract, and we'll make it go faster by, I don't know what this is. Let's just get rid of that. But we'll put a diamond upgrade in there. We're going to be sending these elements from the mob farm straight to here. So I think the order goes fire, water, Earth and then air, yeah. And then I have these pipes hooked up to an evaporator to disintegrate the elements into, well, their elements. We then need 3 types of machines, an infuser, a binder, and a gem crystallizer. We do need to put them on top of element containers, and small ones are not that great, so we have to upgrade it to just a regular container. And basically all of these materials are taken from infused versions of regular materials. We just right click and place the item that we want to infuse on top of it, and then it will use the elements to make our item. And I wish there was a way to automate it. No, sorry, let me rephrase that. I wish I knew a better way of automating this, but generally speaking, I never actually need that many materials because I am just one person, so I just end up doing it manually myself. Maybe going for the Automod star though, I'll have to learn how to automate it, but for now I'm just going to suffer through right clicking this and waiting, and I'll be right back. The next step after making materials from infusing is by binding things, and we need a big amount of every type of element to make the stuff that we need. Using an amethyst shard, nether quartz, and a water crystal in that order will turn it into a springaline shard or produce one, but we need to make water shards first, which is an infuser with some inert crystals that you can mine underground. There technically is a way to grow springaline shards, and that's using the budding shrine. I am going to make this so that I can generate this naturally, but for the current project that I'm working on, I'm just going to make 20 right off the bat using materials. Okay, once we have these 20 springaline shards, we are going to use them to create the strongly contained crystal. By the way, as I'm doing this, all the evaporators up there are working on disintegrating these shards so that they supply more elements in down here. The problem is they're so slow. This is why I hate it. And then these pipes are not the best either, so I do intend to upgrade them after we get everything set up. And then we just make, 4 gem crystallizers. So that is all the machines set up now. Gonna make a bunch more swift alloy ingots to make a bunch of things. We need to head back to base. The first thing I want to make is this thing called the pure infuser, which is what the last strongly contained crystal is for. I'm gonna make better piping because it's just so darn slow. Okay, doesn't this look better? I think so. Next, we need to make what I like to call elemental diamonds. Using the crystallizer, we'll start with the blues. What's the order again? I forgot. This is the nice thing about elemental craft. You can hover over with the tutorial book and it will give you the tutorial. So place diamond, then crystal, and then optionally add up to 10 shards to increase the chance of a better quality gem. Yeah, there's RNG to this. Yeah, not happy. So diamond, we're gonna do the U first, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oops, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, double click somewhere. And then we just wait, and soon we get a gem. We got a fine water gem. The rarities go crude, fine, and pristine, so we got the second best. Depending on the quality you end up with, you get to craft certain items, and if you get a crappier one, you can refine it. You just have to put in another crystal above it. Alright, what's the order? Shrine, earth crystal, water. Oh my god, that's so much to remember. To diamond, I think that's the order, right? Yeah, you know you get it right when you get the particle effects. So there we go, we get the budding shrine. So this uses earth elements, so I'm just going to stick it over here. Now for the final part, to make the pure crystals in order to make the fire we need to bind and make elemental pedestals. So the order goes, you do an infuser into a gem, into a swift alloy ingot, into 2 of these rocks, and quite literally 30 seconds later we get the pedestal. Now we repeat the same thing but with the other elements. And finally, the last altar. Now we just place these pedestals into their respective areas. So finally, to make a pure crystal, we just gotta put a elemental crystal on each of these shrines and then put a diamond here. And after a very long time, we'll get that pure crystal.
6.5 hours later.
I'm not even kidding, this took like 30 seconds to make. But it's done. So we have pure crystals. Finally, after all that work and all that waiting, we can create Firite by putting a netherite ingot, a swift alloy ingot, a springaline shard, and a pure crystal on top of fire in an element binder. And we'll finally get... anytime now. Come on. I don't got all day. Oh, for crying out loud. Firite. Oh, jeez. Now that I've finally reached the material that I wanted to make my silent gear with, I can go and do another one, which is just much more simpler. It's just string on top of air, and you get this thing called air silk. Now with the Firite, we're going to combine it with netherite itself to create a Firite alloy. And then from here, we're going to take this alloy and start grading it to max level once again. Once we have them graded to max level, we're going to also star charge them as well. Now we'll put that in the crafting grid along with a max grade star charged prismarine crystal. And we're going to set a coding blueprint to here. And now we have created one of the first upgrades we can make for our tools, weapons, and armor. We're going to use this for my 2 weapons first, so I'm going to make the other upgrades for them. The next upgrade is going to be a binding, and we're going to create fine silk bindings. You actually don't need to grade or star charge these because it only provides traits. Also, because we're putting it on a weapon, the stats of magic armor does not mean anything, so we can save resources and time by not star charging or grading the fine silk. Next upgrade we're going to make is called a tip upgrade, and we're going to take a piece of glowstone, combine it with a piece of redstone, get some extra attack damage on the weapons that way. And finally, with some max graded and star charged phantom membranes, we're going to create some grip upgrades. I'm going to lower the GUI scale for a second here. Oops, I put it in the wrong spot. Is it this one? 4? Which one's the smaller one? I think it's 2. Okay, currently the dagger is at 24 damage, and I'm going to add each of these upgrades one by one so you can see the difference it makes. So with the coating, it now goes to 31, and it changes the color. If we add the fine silk binding, it stays at 31, but we get luck because of the lucky trait that it gets. And then with the tip upgrade, we continue upgrading the damage, so now we're up to 38 damage. And then with the grip, we add a little bit more attack speed to going from negative 0.4 to negative 0.2. We're going to do the same thing with the katana and look at the differences. So right now it's at 36. This changes it to 50. This adds luck. This brings it up to 57. And that adds an extra 0.2% attack speed, so now we're at minus 1.6. The coating, the binding, the tip upgrades, the grip upgrades, all of these can be applied to my tools. And then for armor, you can replace grip upgrades with lining upgrades. And then with armor, you can also add an additional lining upgrade. This coating is amazing because Firite doesn't have the netherite passive where it doesn't burn up in lava or fire. So if you make it into an alloy with netherite, you get to preserve the fireproof. And then aquatic is a prismarine trait where it gives armor full water breathing, and for weapons, extra damage to aquatic mobs. But all 3 of those combined synergize so well that they create the best stats possible out of all the combinations of them as well. For our paxos though, our binding is going to be made out of fine silk and completely maxed out air silk. This gives us an extra 14% harvest speed. For our fortune paxo, we're going to make a very specific tip upgrade. Tyrian Steel has a trait where if it's used as a tip upgrade, it gives Imperio and Gold Digger, which is just basically extra fortune. Combining it with Glowstone Dust will also give it a lot more harvest speed as well. For the Silk Touch Paxo though, a regular Glowstone Dust will do. And for the grip of our tools, we're going to use a max grade fine silk cloth but we're not going to star charge it because when I was testing stuff out, at max rank you get 20% additional harvest speed, but if you star charge it, it still is 20% additional harvest speed. There is no consistency between star charging and grading across all the pieces of materials, so it's just really frustrating, and this is why I had to do a lot of testing in my own time. Starting with the coating, this jumps up to 84 harvest speed and over 14,000 durability. Then we add the binding and it goes up to 95 harvest speed. This is my Silk Touch pickaxe, so I'm going to be adding the glowstone tip, and now it goes up to 134 harvest speed. And finally, with the fine silk cloth grip, this will end up with a total of 158 harvest speed. Holy shit. Same idea with the fortune pack though, 72 harvest speed. This goes up to 84. Add the binding, it goes to 95. We're going to add the Tyrian Steel for the extra fortune abilities. This goes up to 132. And then we add the grip and it's at a total of 155 harvest speed. And now with our armor, we're going to be making this lining that's made from fine silk cloth and phantom membrane. And that alloy or mixed fabric is graded to max and star charged. Armor has less upgrades, but it still has the important ones, which is the coating. So we're going to start with the helmet first. And this time we're going to focus on the stats that are the armor stats, but we can also look at durability for fun. But 1400, 9.25, 4.16, sorry, and 5.62. If we look at this now, this jumps up pretty significantly. And then we'll add the fine silk cloth to raise the magic armor even more to 5.31. And then we're going to add the tip upgrade that's made out of lapis to get a lucky trait, which adds even more luck stat to my character. And we're just gonna do the same with everything else. And now to the boots. And look at the axe, 37 damage to start with as of currently right now. And now after putting every upgrade, it goes up to 58 damage. I would love to say that this is it, but there is one last thing we can do to upgrade our silent gear even further. This is like the most jank thing you'll ever see me do for this episode. I'm using a wrench to turn a mob slaughter factory so I could kill Endermen and process them into liquid meat and pink slime. And then I'm just using a bucket and just placing it on the same block to just dump it. No more Endermen on here? Alright, let's just turn it around. And now there's enough for some pink slime. I don't know how to get that out though. I'm just gonna keep taking liquid meat buckets out until I get pink slime. Yeah, that will have to do. We are using the pink slime from the mob processing factory to make advanced machine frames. You need 4 of these advanced machine frames to make mob crushers, which is the machine I'm going to be using for this upcoming project. Alright, that's 4 advanced machine frames. And finally, 4 mob crushers. We are heading to the end to make an Enderman killer. And I don't have all the details laid out yet, but I have the general idea of what I'm trying to do. So we're gonna... which side should we take? Kinda actually want to take the east side. So we just gotta fly out from the island for a few hundred blocks so that we don't get any Enderman spawns. So I think this is a good distance here, and then we're gonna drop all the way down to the bottom. And since I don't have to worry about fall damage, I guess we'll just do this kind of blind here. We gotta go as low as possible, so Y1 is basically where we're going. And to keep everything safe, I'm just gonna use a mega torch here. We're looking to make a 53 by 53 square, and I feel like we'll make this the edge actually. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can I craft this real quick? I'm just missing yellow wool. That shouldn't be too hard. Boom. This is modded Minecraft, silly. We don't need to manually do a labor. This is 52. What? 27 on this side. And then 26 on this side. Okay, so this side is short 1. I think this is correct. 53. Okay, that's good. I think there was a different one back then where it just popped it out in chat, and I think I like that one more. I also thought it would be pretty bland if it was just a regular platform, so I decided to do something in creative, and I'm very excited to share this. Check this out. I decided to make some pixel art of my logo. It's not bad, isn't it? I used one of those like to convert picture to Minecraft blocks websites, and then just to get the general shape, and then I basically redid most of the coloring manually because they gave some weird block options, and that this is modded Minecraft, so we have a little bit more block options than vanilla Minecraft. Yeah, I want to put this in the center of the Enderman killer. Then I'm just gonna build a platform off here to put the schematic cannon down, and then we're also gonna place this backpack here because it has all the materials I need to build it, and then we'll stuff the schematic in here, grab the gunpowder, and we'll let it go to town. And so let's hit play and let's watch this go to work. It's done. I have no idea what happened though. I printed a checklist off of the schematic and they completely missed a whole bunch of items. I thought it was maybe because of the fact that maybe these aren't vanilla blocks, but then they have blocks like Gray Fluffy Block, which is a Silent Gear thing. So I don't know what happened, but lots of back and forth, and it's finally done now though. We're gonna put the mob crushers right here on each side of this piece of cobblestone. And in all of them, we're going to show the working area just so that we can double check. But if we slap on a range upgrade, it should cover all the way to the end of the mural. Yeah, perfect. Then we just do the same thing with every single one of these. And now we have our working area, and I realized that there's a flaw in this design, but we'll improvise. From here, we're gonna continue and extend out the platform. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for now. I definitely want to use the vector plate method, and then if an Enderman walks into this quadrant, they'll just get blown into this area. And we'll do that for all 4 corners. I think how I want to transfer all the items is I'll stick some pipes from the top of all of these. And this is gonna go really fast, right? So I'm gonna shove a netherite upgrade on everything. This is probably gonna be one of the most costly projects to date. But in the end, we're going to be getting a lot of resources as well, in addition to from our mob grinder. So this is worth the investment. And I think we'll just use an ender chest here. We'll put the second one around here. We'll make a platform above the spawner and make it out of glass so that we can see the nice artwork. From here, I'm thinking let's use modular routers. I've never used these before, but I've watched the Epic Enchants video on his farm design, and I think I want to do something pretty similar. You can see with both of these items, there's a whole bunch of different extra passives that you get from them, and basically what we're doing is we need to farm orange items to break them into orange drops. And what I'm doing right now is creating a filter system that only will pull out orange items into this section. So I want to put the chest in here just to make sure it works, and it does. So that's good. So we need a lot of these things called the God-forged pearls. So I'm going to put these in here. We'll take anything that's not mythic and put them into here. If an item is made of netherite, however, I want it to be sent and disintegrated into netherite. Here we have a wall of salvagers because they're super slow. Let's say we'll have them outputted to this chest, and we'll have the netherite sent to this drawer right here. You can see the routers just whizzing by all the items, and we're already almost at 1,000 God-forged pearls, which is insane. But we're already up a crap ton of netherite ingots, and there's still a lot to go through still. Next, we're going to install a Enderman spawner, and ouch. We're gonna upgrade it with the usual stuff. There's no AI, as fast of a spawner as possible, spawn as many as possible, have it ignore light, we'll link it up wirelessly, and of course we'll change it to an Enderman spawner. Then we'll use vector plates this time to move the Enderman. Now we'll set up a backpack with a magnet upgrade to pick up any items, and we'll have it direct into a netherite chest and a armory cabinet in case any endermen do drop armor and stuff like that. I just spent like 5 minutes killing some mobs, and now we have a decent amount of gems. So now finally we'll take one more modular router and we'll fill it with upgrades, and we will ask the router to pull from this chest and put it into this one. Now we just set this to extract and add a pipe upgrade, and things should start being added into this reforging table. This reforging table is one of the last steps of finally getting all my silent gear upgrades done. So when you put an item in here and you have the appropriate items and levels, you'll start to get additional options for your weapons. So if I hover over this here, you can see the name of the weapon has changed, and on top of that there are passives above, and the stats at the bottom have been upgraded, and there's sockets. So what reforging will do is that it will pick from a table of random stuff to give to the weapon, and the goal is to make it so that everything lands on the stuff that you want. So this is the final layer of RNG that I am going for. I will not bore you with me re-rolling over and over and over again because it will take a long time, but I am going to go ahead and look for a specific line, which I just got right here. And this is the loot pinata line. Let's just select that real quick here. So now when I'm killing Enderman, there's going to be a chance that one of them will just suddenly... Did you see that? They just exploded? Yeah, there we go. So basically what happened there was essentially a loot explosion. And that loot explosion, I believe, can chain with the other ones, or at least the explosion will affect or kill the other mobs quicker as well. So this now has become a very, very good mobbing tool, just for the fact that it has the loot pinata line on it. And the thing that will happen is the occasional time when you kill an enemy and they drop their table and loot pinata gets set off, you just get copies of the same item over and over and over again. I'm gonna get farming away, and I'll see you when I have accumulated a crap ton of stuff. I'm gonna do a quick interlude here. By the way, I've only been here for like an hour, and I decided to add diamonds because I was seeing how much I was getting. And honestly, I think it was worth it. But look at that, 6,000 netherite already. It's insane. This is so fast. But one of the ways to get better chances at gem drops is to increase the luck stat. And we can add more luck by adding gems to our equips. So I have these splendor gems, and if you look at the description, it says increased luck. But gems also have a different set of rarities as well as the apotheosis of fixes. And we can upgrade to the next tier by fusing gems of the same tier. So if I shove this into the table, you can see we need another gem, some rarity materials, and then some gem dust. I unfortunately do not have any of the lower tier one. So let's see if we could just yoink something out real quick. Maybe what we'll do is we'll just salvage it like that. And once we have the materials necessary, this will go into the next tier, so which is blue. And then from here, we can do the same thing again to get to the next tier with different sets of equips and so on and so forth until we get to a perfect tier. Then in a smithing table, if your equipment has an empty socket on it at the bottom, then you can equip the gem that way. So we just add that, and now the chestplate has 6 luck. I'm already seeing better results. Not even 5 minutes in grinding, I have 2 oranges here, another flawless luck here, and another one here. Finally, and I'm not kidding, this took me hours of re-rolling, but my armor is next to perfection. It's almost everything that I want. In the end, I still think I'm going to be compromising a little bit just because of how much time I'm spending re-rolling right now. The important thing here is that my armor is getting a boost on the armor stat and the armor toughness stat. I find those two to be very important. And then for the third stat that's boosted, I wanted max health and or luck. But in the case here with my pants at the top, it gave me bursting vitality 2 and resistance 2, and getting those two lines together plus physical damage reduced by 10%. And then at the bottom, it gave me armor toughness, max health, and then knockback resistance. So it was just one line away from perfection. I think I'm okay with that. And then same idea with the with the boots here. I basically hit every line I wanted: armor toughness, luck, max health. At the top, I have 21% fall damage, but I could get that up to 30%. But you know, like I just it's gonna be a lot if I want to keep going. And right now, I want to wait till my gems are completed so that I can focus on re-rolling my stuff to perfection. In this backpack, I have it set to pick up everything from this Enderman spawner, but only keep the flawless tier gems, so that way I can fuse them into a perfect tier. And I just have to set up with a netherite pipe upgrade and just a bunch of NBT tags smacked onto the filter. Again, the problem with Apotheosis, I find, is the documentation. It just sucks. If you try to find any information about like gems and stuff, there's actually no documentation in this book that some gems can only be found in certain dimensions. Because we're in the end here, we have a lot of these Ender Surge gems. These are really, really good because at the perfect tier, it's +2 levels to all existing enchantments. So all of the Apotheosis levels that we have enchanted gets an additional +2 on everything. But you can only get these in the end. Just like how there are certain gems that you can only get in the overworld and in the nether. For the nether, I'm just going to build something very similar as I did to the end with an Enderman spawner. I'm not going to do anything too fancy because we don't need too much from this place. The gem in the nether that we're looking for is the flawless gem of the incandescent inferno, and I just hit a loot pinata on that gem, so I just got enough for a lifetime, I guess. Now that I'm satisfied with my rolls, it's time to add gems into them. Now, every equipment can have up to 4 gems, which is why I wasn't worried about the number of sockets they had, because we can just manually add them at the end with the sigil of socketing. All you gotta do is combine them in the smithing table, and you can see it goes from 2 to 3. And to unlock the 4th socket, you need a superior sigil of socketing, which is just an enchantment with these certain stats. So all you gotta do is knock out 3 or 4 shelves and you're good. Since this is saying soulbound, I didn't do it right, so that's 1 extra bookshelf and I think we're good. Yeah, so now it's infused, and we just add them once again and we'll get our 4th slot on all of these equips. You can sort of personalize and customize what gems you want on your equipment, but I have personally decided on these particular gems. So for these ones that we're going to do for the helmet. Ender Surge, in my opinion, is a must because it's +2 to every enchantment that's on the equip. Gem of Royal Family for 20% to all stats. Gem of the Warlord for 20% attack damage. And finally, Gem of Mage Slayer for ignoring magic damage and healing from magic damage. You can replace this with other ones like the Samurai Gem, which gives you more arrow velocity. It's a little bit flexible, but that is the first equip done. Next is the chest plate. So of course, Ender Surge to start off with. Then Gem of the Incandescent Inferno, which gives 2 levels to Berserker's Fury. So now we're at Berserker's Fury 7. And yeah, Ender Surge and any other gem that adds enchantment levels do stack. And then for now, we'll add a Warlord gem. Currently, I have the luck gem that on the chest plate, and I do plan to change that afterwards, but I just want to hold on to the luck gem for the time being and do some stuff first before we take it out. So we're going to use a Gem of the Combatant, which reduces physical damage received. And in my opinion, there's only like 3 good ones for boots, which is of course the Ender Surge, the Slipstream, and then we're going to use a lower tier solar gem so that we don't walk up 3 blocks at a time randomly when we don't want to. And so with this gem, we can walk up 1 block high terrain, but we can't go any further than say a 2 block. I personally don't like adding speed onto my equips because we already go pretty darn fast, and there's such thing as too much of a good thing, and I do think adding all that speed is going to be more detrimental to walking around the world than it is beneficial. What the fuck? What was my death message? Drained by a corrupted enchantment. What the heck? Huh? What? I have never been any more confused than what I just went through right now. What killed me? Is like my Berserker's Fury just too strong and it took all my hearts away or something? Hold on. I gotta try this out. Yeah! What the heck? I am not going to lie. Re-rolling this chest plate has brought me back way back to my MapleStory days, because it felt like I was back cubing, looking at my lines or flaming or whatever, and going, it's good, but I want better. I want perfection. And I say this because for the past 90 minutes, it seems, or even 2 hours, I was rolling this chest plate for instant health 2, and then 4 lines. Armor toughness, max health, and my 4th line was either going to be luck or healing received. And I landed on this, and I stared at it, and I was like, ooh, but I could get +4 max health or higher. And I think it goes up to +8. I don't know though. If I look at all my other equips, they're all 8 max health. So I'm really tempted. Oh, you know what? Screw it. Let's do it. Oh, I'm gonna regret this. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Look what I rolled. Instant health, armor toughness, 4 luck, 7 max health. You know what? I will frickin' take that. Okay, I feel like I've dragged this episode on pretty long. So there's one final item I want to do on camera before I just go and farm the rest off the camera and whatever. And that is the axe. So with the axe, the gems are actually pretty ridiculous. The first one is Gem of the Samurai, which adds 65% crit chance. With the 53% crit chance that it already has, this means that I'm always going to be critting with this axe, no matter if I'm jumping or not. Next, the Tyrannical Gem, which takes off a quarter health of any enemy, plus the 15% that I currently have already, so that's 40% of any target's HP. Then I'm adding a Gem of the Warlord, which is 40% more crit damage. Finally, to make it even more OP, a Breach Gem for 25% armor shred. apotheosis by definition says that, where is it? So despite the small little hiccups here and there, I am pretty happy with the progress that I've made today. Next episode, we're absolutely putting all of my equips to the test, and I cannot wait to show you all the hours I spent on this gear and the effort that it took, and it finally paying out. So I hope you're excited for that, and I hope you enjoyed watching this episode. I'll have to see you next time, though. Take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye.